All right, hello and welcome to Member Mouse Office Hours. So this is pretty straightforward. Basically, if you have any questions, go ahead and click the Q&A button beneath me and I'll answer them in the order that they're received. Excuse me. All right, so this first question is from Dolores, and she says, we are getting our join form spammed. Is there a way to stop this? You can add CAPTCHA to the form. If I share my screen here and go to our support site. So this article will show you how to add CAPTCHA form to your checkout form, in which case people will be required to engage with the CAPTCHA in order to submit the form. So that should reduce the spam that's happening. All right. Let's see. The next question is from Tyler. Is there a way to make a custom checkout page for each membership? So if I have a gold membership and a bronze membership, right now, even with the static link, they both go to the same checkout. I would like each one to have its own page, or have the same page, but only show the information for the membership they're going to buy. Well, you can do both. You can either have a custom checkout page for each membership, or you can dynamically change the content on the checkout page to only show things for the membership that's being purchased. The easier one to explain is the second one, and this I'll just show you. To do this, you're just going to use the order decision smart tag. So I'll go back to our support website, support.membermouse.com, and type in order decision smart tag. So you can use this smart tag on the checkout page, and you, just like all of our decision smart tags, you surround the content with an opening tag and a closing tag, and all the content within that will only be displayed under certain circumstances, under certain conditions defined by the attributes that you use in the smart tag. So for example, in your case, talking about membership IDs, you could use membership ID attribute to basically show specific content for the gold membership on the checkout page using the order decision smart tag. It would look something like this. You can even just copy this code as a sample and paste it on your checkout page and then modify it. You just make sure that the membership ID is the actual ID of your gold membership, which you can find by going to product settings, membership levels, and then you can see all the IDs here on the left-hand column for the membership levels. So that's that. For customized, for if you want to have like a page specifically just for selling a particular membership level. So again, on our support site, this article on creating a custom checkout page goes through all the aspects that you need in order to do that. So just follow this article. It's, you know, there are a number of steps to it, so I'm not going to go through all of them in this video. The thing that you'll want to keep in mind is once you've created the custom checkout page, you're not going to get the purchase link for people to sign up for that for that membership from this page using this button, because this will always go to the default checkout page. So once you've created a custom checkout page, you will just need to use that link on your buy now buttons throughout the site, the one for the link for your custom checkout page that you create. All right, next question is from Farank. I'm using this code for showing different content to members and non-members. And then he has a bunch of smart tags and HTML code. It works brilliant, but sometimes after the sign in and I've cleared the cache, the post is not readable for the users. The member has the exact bundle for the reading, but the post is still protected. Can you give me some tips what I'm doing wrong? Okay, so let me copy this code. Share my screen again. All right, so I will go to add new page. Not feeling very creative today, so I'll just call this test. Okay, and then I will grant access to this page for, you said you're working with bundles, so I'll say that this is for the special offer bundle, has access to this page. So before I put in your smart tag code that you created, I'm just going to put test content here, and I'm going to publish this. And I'll copy this link, open up an incognito window, and we should find that we can't access the page. So now what I'll do is I will make a purchase of the special offer bundle, which I can find here, buy it. And now if I access that URL, I should be able to see it. Okay, so that's working. So now let's paste in your sample code. So you're using the access decision smart tag, which by the nature of using that smart tag is going to bypass the page level protection. That's essentially what the access decision smart tag does. It says, hey, I don't want you to block this page all the time. I want to determine when it should be blocked based on what somebody's access rights are. And I want to show different content to people based on what their access rights are. The first thing I'm going to do is make this less complicated. So you have some member decision smart tags nested in the second part. So I'm just going to cut that out for now. Actually, first, oops, that's not what I want. Oh, man. Hold on a second. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and then delete it. Okay, so now this makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so now if I attempt to access this URL without having the bundle, it should show me this post is for paid members only. So let me go ahead and go to an incognito window again, paste in that URL. Okay, so that's correct. And now again, if I make the purchase and buy this special offer bundle and then go back to that page again, I should see the post content goes here. Okay, so everything's working correctly so far. So now let's increase the complexity, put in some nested member decision smart tags, which I'm not sure if this technically actually will work. I'm not sure if, I think that you can nest smart tags, but that was the one thought that I had originally, which is why I'm approaching the testing in this way, segment by segment, just to make sure it works. Okay, so let's put this back in. So if membership ID is 1, then do this. If isMember is false, then do this. Okay, so let me see for my scenario what membership ID I've been purchasing. So I've been purchasing the basic membership in my tests. And the ID on the basic membership is 2. So here, I'm going to modify the code for my situation to say membership ID equals 2. And then I'll need the purchase link for the special offer bundle, which I can get by coming here, copying the purchase link, and going back and pasting it in here. You can purchase access here. Okay. So that takes care of the situation where they have the membership level, but they haven't made the purchase. Okay, so if the member is not, if the person's not a member at all, then you're showing something else. And again, I'm going to put the purchase link for my specific situation here. Oh, wait. Oh. The undo hotkeys on the keyboard does not go back to the last step. Oh. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to see log in here. Okay. I'm gonna save this because stuff's not working. Okay, so let me go back to Incognito and let's see what happens when I visit this page. So currently I don't have access, so it's telling me this post is for paid members only. You are not logged in. If you are not yet a member, you may purchase here. If you need to log in, you may do so here. So it's displaying what we would expect it to display. Now the other case is that I haven't purchased the bundle, but I am a member. So I'm gonna go ahead and become a member by making this purchase. And now if I go back to the URL, I can see it's now telling me, okay, I am a member, but I don't have access. So I can purchase access here, one-click buy. So I'll go ahead and confirm that. And if I go back to the page and refresh, I see now post content goes here. So doesn't seem to be anything wrong with your smart tag. It's all functioning correctly in this scenario, in all scenarios that I've tested. So yeah, I would say it has something to do with your environment. Caching is usually, an issue here. There are multi-levels of caching. There's caching that happens at the server level, which you would have to talk to your host about. There's caching that can happen in the environment level, like different plugins that are installed can do caching. So it's possible that caching is the culprit of this. But, what you could do is follow, kind of make it the simplest case possible that I've done here, like the steps that I've taken, like start with the most basic, simple case, just the access decision smart tags, and have that be your test, and then go through the scenarios. If you can replicate it, right, if you're able to replicate the issue you're experiencing, then you can, that's a good place to start. You can then check, if you have any caching plugins and make sure that that URL of the page where you're trying to do this is not being cached by a caching plugin. If you're using a host like WP Engine or Kinsta or Flywheel or anybody like this, they automatically have caching on the server by default in their environments. So you'll want to make sure you talk to them about caching, and make sure that any pages you want to be dynamic are not being cached, because the nature of caching is will break any dynamic components of the page. Okay, so that's what I would look into first. If after you've confirmed that no caching is happening, both from a plugin standpoint or the server level, then I would shoot a screencast video replicating the issue and send it to our support team at support@membermouse.com and see if they can help. Actually, one more thing that I would suggest doing is when you're doing your tests to see if this works, do it in safe mode. So if you go to MemberMouse dashboard, you see here safe mode. What this will do it will disable all plugins and your theme and use the default theme. So it basically removes all plugins and themes, environmental factors from being an influence on the scenario. So if you first step is to try and replicate the issue reliably. If you can't replicate the issue reliably, then something weird is going on. But if you can replicate the issue every time by following a series of steps, then once you've done that, enable safe mode and see if you can still replicate it. If you can't, then that's an indicator that whatever is causing the issue is one of the active plugins you have or your theme. Okay, so these are just standard testing protocols I'm going through, and we actually have, I think, an article that goes through these basic troubleshooting steps. But yeah, so that's that. So, but in terms of your basic question of are you doing anything wrong with the smart tags, the answer is no, because it works for me in the environment that I have, where no caching is happening on my environment. So it's all working fine. Nothing's wrong with your smart tag. So it has to do with something else that's going on. All right. So at this point, I've gotten through all the questions. So I'll wait a little bit, see if, oh wait. From Kimberly, does MemberMouse automatically send receipts or any emails when a billing is about to happen via Stripe? Not about to. MemberMouse will send a receipt to the customer when billing does happen. And it doesn't happen automatically. You have to actually set it up. But MemberMouse will not send anything to the customer prior to the billing actually happening. But if you want MemberMouse to send a billing receipt, that's pretty straightforward. You just go to Developer Tools, create push notification, and for the trigger, you select payment received, and then use for the action, send an email to the current member from whatever email address you want. And then you can start with this template, order receipt. So it'll actually give you a template you can work with that includes dynamic information about the purchase, including billing address, shipping address. So, and then you can just modify this. So if it's not a shippable product, just remove the stuff relating to shipping. If you aren't collecting billing address or don't want to send it in the order receipt, you can build that. If you don't have any discounts, coupon capability, you can delete that. Shipping, delete that. You know, basically modify it how you want. But the template gives you the smart tags that will output things like the product name purchased, the order total, subtotal if there are discounts involved, et cetera, the order ID. And so yeah, you can, and then save this. And then now when somebody makes a payment, it will send them the email. Not only that, you would also want to create the same thing for rebill payment received. So just create a push notification both when a payment is received and a rebill payment received. And now if I go ahead and make a purchase, well, this isn't, okay. So I'm not being charged anything. There's a free trial, so that's not a billing event. But if I buy this thing for $19, okay. So now if I go to manage members, I can see this is the member I just signed up with. There was a $19 charge. And if I go to the activity log, you can see that an email was sent, and it is that payment receipt. So a log of any email sent by push notifications will be in the activity log for the member, so you can see a history of that here. Okay, so follow-up question, Kimberly is saying, I would like to send receipts for few billings that occurred in the past. Can I use push notifications to accomplish that? No, you can't. I did kind of see your screen, but I do know how to set up push notifications. Yeah, you can't do this for past events. You're gonna have to manually send those receipts out to people for the events that have passed. Okay, so I've gone through all the questions. Is there anything else before we sign off? Okay, so Cindy's saying something else you can do. While MemberMouse won't allow you to send receipts through the push notification system from the past, if you are using Stripe, or probably, another payment provider, you can log into that payment provider and send the receipts from there. Usually the payment provider will have a way for resending receipts for past charges. So you could do it through Stripe or whoever you're using, see if they have that support. All right, well, I think that's it. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope you have a nice weekend, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.